this would be the last chapter of the syllabus. When we talk about the syllabus, this is the last chapter. And once when we are talking about interview, you should understand that interview skills are very, very important. Why they are very important? Reason is very simple. Whenever we talk about interview, it is sharing the opinion. You are exchanging your opinion. When you share opinion or exchange, it is called as interview. So there can be different instances, there can be different situations, there can be different like times when you have to share your information with the other. Say for example, you are traveling in flight or even in the train, and there is a person who is sitting next to you, and when you are exchanging information about your personality, yourself, what you do, what are your interests, what are your liking with the other person, and when he or she is also sharing his likes and dislikes and about the information related the personal information, like say for example, what is his or her name, the qualification, where he or she is working, what are his likes or dislikes, what are or her likes and dislikes. So when you are talking about any kind of sharing opinion, whenever we talk about exchange of opinions, it is called as interview. Generally people are like this term is very scary. Generally people are scared of hearing or even attending the interview process, because they believe that they will be questioned and they have to answer. It's not the question and answer, it is in fact you are sharing your personal opinion, and people, the one who are asking question, they try to match, they try to connect whether your opinion, whether your interest, whether your likes matches with the like of the organization or not. So you should now onwards remember one thing. If there is a word used as interview, it is exchange of opinion, sharing your personal views or opinions on whatever subject the other person is asking you questions pertained or related to. So whenever we talk about interview skills, the first thing that comes in our mind is how do we prepare for the interview. This is the biggest challenge. Generally, people believe the one who are giving the interview, the one who are appearing for the interview, only they prepare for interview process. But this is wrong. Actually, the basic preparation, or you can say maximum preparation, is done by the person. Whenever we talk about the person who is conducting the interview, they are the people who have to write the job description, they have to identify who are the right people, then they have to call the interviewees, they have to arrange the right person, and then offer the offer letter. So if you talk about the process of interview, and if you talk about preparation of the interview, you should know the interviewer and interviewee both are going to prepare for the interview process. And why am I talking about interview right now? Because I know that many of you, after your BBA course, you are going to step into the shoes of an entrepreneur. When you are going to set up something of your own, you are going to look forward for certain people who are having same kind of likes, same kind of understanding, and then you will try to match up with them. You're going to make a good relationship with them so that they can work under your supervision or under your guidance. So even you are going to become an interviewer. Many a times it happens that as a senior, you will be requested by the juniors to talk about different activity that is happening in or within the boundaries of ISM Patna. So you should always remember, interview is sharing your opinion, and this opinion could be shared not only by the person who is going to ask the question, but also the one who is answering right now. He or she will also have the right to question the interviewer. So the preparation happens at both the ends. It is not only the interviewer, but also the candidate, that is interviewee, who is going to prepare for the interview process. The interviewer is going to find out who is the right candidate for the suitable job role that can really help the organization to grow. Whereas when we talk about the candidate must know the job role. The candidate must know what is the job. The candidate must be good enough in understanding the requirement of the organization, so that he or she can live long, he or she can have a long lasting relationship with the given organization. So when we talk about interview, please remember, preparation of interview happens at both the ends. One, the interviewer is going to prepare for the interview process. Second, the candidate, the one who's going to appear for the interview process, even they are going to prepare for the interview. But as you all are candidates who are looking forward for higher education, so after your course or called as BBA or BCA, many of you may aspire to do your MBA or PGDM or MCA course. Even after qualifying the MAT exam or NIMSET exam based on your interest and requirement, you will be appearing for group discussion and personal interview. So you should know before appearing for the personal interview or before appearing for any of the interview process, what are the basic things that you should keep in your mind. Apart from that, the students of BBA and BCA from fourth trimester, you compulsory for you people to do, and then OJT is compulsory for the BBA final year students, both in fifth and sixth semester. For BCA student, there is a lengthy project which they have to finish it off in fifth and sixth semester together. So you should all understand that interview is not that which you are going to face only after your completion of course. It is also the part of your life. Every day we conduct lots of interview. If you are interacting for the first time with any person, you're going to have a small interview, right? So you should not be scared of the word interview. Interview is something wherein you should be happy to share your details. You should be happy to talk about yourself. You should be happy to talk about your likes and dislikes, and even to know what others are liking and disliking. So when we talk about interview process, it starts with job application. There is a job. The job requirement, either it is posted in the newspapers through an advertisement, or sometimes you come to know about the job through the portals, job portals. There can be different job portals. Can I quickly get through the chat box? Do you know what are the different job portals through which you can get into the job? Can I see who are the candidates, who are the students who can let me know about the different job portals? What are the basic common job portals? Are you aware of any of the common job portals on which you get lot many job opportunities quickly? Let me give you a clue. Have you heard about Naukri.com? If you all know about Naukri.com, quickly in the chat box, I. Very good, Aradhana. Excellent. Yes, dear. It is LinkedIn. Very good. Have you heard about Facebook? How many of you know about Facebook? Have you seen any time Facebook job portal? Yes, of course, Anshuman, Bihar job portal. There is another job portal which is meant only for the people who are living in Bihar, isn't it? So you must be knowing about Facebook, wherein even on Facebook jobs are available, even on LinkedIn, even Indeed. Then Times Job is there, Shine is there, Naukri is there, Monster is there. There are many number of job portals. And what are these job portals doing? They try to become an intermediary. When I say intermediary, they are the gap filler. There, yes, of course. Yes, rightly stated, Abhishek. There are newspapers, sometimes television ads are there, even sometimes through banner and through social media. Indeed, yes, it is one of the very famous job portal. Naukri.com, Shine.com. Yes, these are the common, regularly used job portals. Now, what these job portals do, they connect. Very true. Quicker is also into providing job. Rightly stated, Sangeeta. So when we are talking about these job portals, sarkari.com, naukri.com, sarkarinaukri.com, sarkarijobs.com. Yes, Chandan. Yes, this is again one of the important job portals. So what I want you to understand is what are the roles of these job portals? Can you identify one of the basic job roles of these job portals? Why they are so important? Quickly, I want to know what is their function, what is their responsibility. So you don't have an idea? What they do is they bridge the gap between the person who is an interviewer and the person who is an interviewee. They try to provide suitable candidates not only in one particular region but across the boundaries of the state or even in the countries. Very good, Anshuman. Yes, they talk about the vacant seats. We will not use the word empty, we will use the word vacant here. All right. So whenever we are talking about the vacant seat or any suitable job or position which is open for the recruitment process, they let us know that so and so company. Say, for example, if I talk about Samsung or Oracle or any organization, like say for example Infosys, Tata, TCS, anywhere, if there is a job opening, or HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, or any bank, so whenever there are job openings, what is the main role that is done by these job portals? They will make their candidates know you should get registered on these job portals, and through the registration process you'll come to know that wherever the openings are, what are the common things that one has to always keep in mind whenever they are going to apply for the job, that is eligibility criteria. So these are the common things which will be shared, which will be told, which will be informed by the Naukri or by the other job portals, isn't it? So whenever we are talking about the job application, once when you will come to know about any job, it could be through newspaper or through social media sites or through the job portals. When you have come to know that yes, there is a job vacancy or there is a job opening, what are the common things that every candidate must do? First, you have to prepare a cover letter. You can see job applications are also called as cover letter. So in case if in examination they ask you write short notes on cover letter, don't get confused. They are actually talking about job application. So even if they ask you write short notes on job application, and if you remember the word cover letter, they both remain the same. So whenever we are talking about job application letters or cover letters, the first thing that we have to prepare if we are really willing to participate in the interview process and win and get through the process of selection, we have to prepare a good cover letter. And then the resume or CV, as per the requirement, as per the job requirement, we are going to apply. So I'll park this particular word resume and CV for the time being. I'll make you understand what is the difference between resume and CV through next slide. But for the time being, you should all know that whenever we are talking about cover letter, along with the cover letter, we will also include the resume as well as the CV. We are not going to attach both. There will be either one of them. It could be either resume or CV. Then the next, the job application letter must let the employer, it should inform the employer that why you have applied, what are your eligibility criteria, whether you fulfill that eligibility criteria that is shared by the organization or not, and why they should select you. What is it that is there within you which makes you different from the other candidates? So whenever we are talking about job application, you have to be very thoughtful. You have to be really very technical in terms whenever we are talking about the job application. So please remember, when you are writing the job application, you should know many things. So how do a job application look alike? We are going to discuss about that too. All right. So let us move ahead with the next point, wherein we are going to talk about the difference between resume and CV. See, you all need to identify these differences, because generally I have seen many of the time, or quite often, people get confused between the term resume and CV. CV stands for curriculum vitae. It's a French word, and then when we are talking about this CV, you should all know when to apply, whenever you are going to apply for the job, what kind of job will require CV and what kind of jobs will require resume, and how do they look alike. All right. So when we are talking about resume, let us understand about resume. The length is always shorter. When I say length is shorter, that means all the points will be presented in bullet points. You don't exaggerate, you don't expand, you don't explain in detail. You write all the keywords, you write all the important tasks or the activities in bullet point. Then focus is based on what is it that you are looking for. That is, where have you worked, what are your experiences. If you are a fresher, if you are an amateur, if you are new to this organization, then what are your qualification, how do you match up your qualification, and how can you say that you will be the right candidate for that organization. Then you have to really highlight on your internship projects or life projects or even on the OJT. So whenever we are talking about the focus is more on the kind of skill sets that you are having related to job. I repeat, the skill sets related to job. Say, for example, if you know how to do sales, if you know how to do marketing, if you know how to prepare a website, if you know how to do SEO and SMM or SME. So you should know about all these things in detail, and then you have to match up, you have to present it, that where did you use, how did you use. So education is very, very important, because you are most of the time, the freshers, when they are writing resume, they have very less to write about their experiences, but they have good or ample amount of experience related to their education or the qualification. So education is again very, very important, and it is always mentioned after the experience. Say, for example, if you're talking about your OJT, say, if I'm talking to the students of BBA as well as BCA, after your fifth trimester or semester, when I talk about your resume for the application of internship, at that time you're going to mention nothing except the live project or the seminars, conferences, or the guest lectures that you are attending. But immediately after finishing your OJT, on the top of your qualification, before you're going to present the details related to your qualification, you're going to present or you're going to display the on that is OJT or internship related information. So always remember, experience will come first, followed by education. In case if you have no experience, never mind, because people know that you are new to this particular occupation. So therefore, if you're a fresher, of course there won't be any experience. But still, as you are pursuing vocational or professional courses, we at ISM definitely will help you out, and we will provide you the great places to work, to do your internship projects, so that you can mention some or the other experiences even in your resume, though you have no work experience as an employee. As an intern, you will definitely mention about it. Then the experience, say for example, if there is a candidate who has got certain work experience, so what are they going to write? Or even if you're talking about your internship, what are the things that you're going to write? In the internship, you are going to talk about the job title. What do we understand by job title? You're going to write as intern. Sometimes it will be sales executive intern, marketing executive intern, SEO intern, or web designer intern, graphic designer intern. So there can be even coder as an intern. So there can be different job titles, the company where you were working as an intern, and then what are the accomplishments. When we talk about accomplishments, what are the common things that you have learned? What are the basic things that you have learned during your internship? That will be mentioned either in 2 or 3 points, not less than 2 or 3 points. So you should always remember, it will highlight your experience, particularly related to internship. Then additional items, very, very important. Why we are always asking you to engage or to participate in different webinars or seminars or conferences, because these are very, very important and you all should keep a note of it. So on which date, what was the guest lecture that you have attended, who was the speaker, what are the things that you have learned. So you're going to talk about all these information in additional item, which comes under accomplishments and achievements. All right. So also remember that whenever we are talking about resumes are written gently by the people wherein they display about their last 10 years of experience or 15 years of experience. And in general, you will see resume of only 1 page. So when we are talking about the next item, that is curriculum vitae, over here you will see that they are very, very lengthy. Why they are very lengthy? Because they are generally prepared and presented by research scholars, academicians, teachers, professors, assistant professor, associate professor, or readers. wherein they talk about not many things related to their academic. So it is a lengthy document when compared to resume. Resume, maximum it would be of 2 pages, whereas curriculum vitae it could be of more than 5 pages. Sometimes it also stretches to 10 page or 12 page or even 20 pages, depends on the kind of interest that the other person is having. So length is too lengthy when we compare the CV with the resume. Always remember, resume is shorter. More shorter it is always considered as the better resume. And when we talk about CVs are those which are very lengthy. Here we talk about expertise. What are the areas of specialization? What are we qualifying in? What are we expertised in? All right. It also talks about your educational qualification. It talks about your experiences. So in each and every place wherever you are working, there will be different work experience. So when we are talking about those different work experiences, the teaching experiences that one has, that could be related to the professor, assistant professor, associate professor, where they were working, what are the classes that they were teaching, what are the subjects that they were delivering. Everything would be mentioned. How many books they have written, how many articles they have written, how many chapters they have mentioned. There will be a lengthy process of sharing information. Therefore, it talks about publication, it talks about research, it talks about presentation, it talks about organizational work. What am I going to do is today, after the end of the class by 1:30, you all are going to receive a sample resume and a sample CV so that you will get a clarity that how resume is totally different from the CV. And then it also talks about the experiences, publications, and it will always start from the latest period to the old one. Say, for example, when we are talking about 2020, the information that will be furnished in 2020 will be on the top, followed by 2019, then 2018, then 2017. So you should always remember resume. Whenever you are working in an organization, you're going to like offer your resume. If you're joining any organization as a teacher, as a professor, or as an assistant professor or associate professor based on your experiences, then you will be like sharing your CV. So don't get confused if somebody is saying what is a resume and CV. In general, even very good experienced people, they find a difficulty in understanding the difference between CV and resume. So I hope everybody is now clear that whenever we are talking about resume, resumes are written and submitted by the applicants or the candidates who are looking for the job in industry, in companies, in organization. Whereas whenever we are talking about the CV, CVs are offered or submitted by the faculty members, by academicians. You have to remember this word, academicians. And these academicians, they always furnish, they always submit, they always present their CV to the principal or to the management of the or of that particular organization. So is this concept clear with everyone? Could you all understand and identify the difference between resume and CV? So if you could understand the difference between resume and CV, quickly in the chat box, I want you all to write yes. If you could understand the difference between resume and CV, I want you all to type YES, yes. And in case if you have any doubt, do mention where you have the doubt. Is it in resume or in CV so that I can explain it once again? Quickly, dear. So I see that everybody is typing yes. Duration of experience, whenever we are talking about the duration of experience, generally the one who are into their industry, you will see that they have reached to the topmost level or the topmost hierarchy after 15 years of experience. So you will see them, they are working in the same organization or the same position, probably as CEO or CMO or CFO, COO. So therefore, the duration, particularly in resumes, we restrict it to 10 to 15 years. Whereas when we talk about the duration of experience in CV, dear, it is beyond our imagination, because many a times there can be people who travel a lot from one state to the other state, where they keep changing their institutes. So in the lifespan of 50 or 60 years, There can be a person who might have worked in 10 different organizations, right? And then he or she might have published more than 100 to 200 articles. They might have trained many research scholars. So when we talk about the duration of experience, particularly in CV, you cannot restrict. All right, the limitation is not there, because every now and then you can publish a new article. I don't know how many of you are interested in publication. Are you all like, how many of you are good at writing blogs? Quickly, if you are really good at writing blogs, can I get to know about what are your interest area? If you have written any blog, what was the topic on which you have written your blog? Quickly in the chat box. I want to see who is going to answer me first. Aradhana Kumari says feminism. Excellent. Uh, do share me the link of your blog, dear. I would love to read it. All right. Excellent. And is it that you are reading the blogs of others, or do you write it? So I'll appreciate if you can start writing blogs, if you can even start writing certain articles, certain research papers along with your teachers. Initially, whenever you are starting, whenever you are beginning, you should always remember there has to be a senior who can guide you to write the research paper, or to present the research paper, or to even talk about how to write an article and how to present the article, right? So you should all keep this in your mind whenever we are talking about the resume and CV. So moving ahead, this will be the last slide that I'm going to show over here, and we are going to finish it off with this particular slide today. So here is the sample of the cover letter. So whenever there is a job application which is shared by the company or the organization, based on their requirement, based on the job that they are going to provide. So we write a cover letter. This is the cover letter which is written on a paper. Hence, you will see that there is to address, date is mentioned, subject column is there. In case if we are writing an email, I repeat, in case if we are writing an email, we need not write the address. We need not write the address. Can you please give me the information instead of address? What is required to share the information? What is it that is necessary if I want to share my cover letter? If I'm not writing it on a piece of paper with a pen, how can I share this cover letter? Very good. I should have the email account. I should have the email address of the HR, isn't it? The email ID of the HR should be there. So do I have to write date? Quickly, do I have to write date when I'm writing an email? Yes or no? Why no? Why? Why no? Abhinav, no, we are not going to write the date here when we are writing the email. The reason is it is set as default, right? So you need not write the date, you need not even write the time, because it is already mentioned, it is default setting. All right, remember the word default. Default is which is automatically, which is automated, which the system can automatically generate. So we need not mention the time, we need not mention the date, we need not even mention from address, because already our email address will be captured by but the time the person is going to receive our email, right? So the cover letter is going to start with email address here, followed by subject line. If you are writing an email, then you can see over here, I am giving a response to the job notification, which was for the position of executive in which organization XYZ Private Limited. Now, what is my qualification? You might have completed either your BBA course or BCA course from International School of Management, Patna, which is affiliated with Aryabhat Knowledge University, and this is your aggregate score. I wish you all can score much better than this, because 9.2 and 9.4, if I talk about BBA, 9.2 is the CGPA that is achieved by Mohit Kumar. And when I talk about BCA, 9.4 gold medalist Sarita Kumari has achieved that. So I want you all to have that spirit within your mind so that you can compete. Now, during the graduation, what are you doing? You have gained exposure. How did you gain exposure about the corporate culture? By attending various seminars, conferences, and even by being the part of on OJT, that is on job training. Whenever you are saying OJT, OJT is an abbreviation. People may not be knowing about OJT. It may turn as a jargon. So therefore, we mention on the job training with ABC Company Limited. What are your expertise? If you're a student of BCA, you may be expert into .NET or Java or coding or designing or graphic designing. Or if you're a student of BCA, you may be expert in sales, finance, marketing, or HR. So what are your qualities? What are the personal skill sets that you are having? You're going to mention about it. That what are your plus point, what are your strength areas, what are your common skill sets, what kind of communication you are having, what kind of person you are, what is the way you deal with the others. So you're going to talk about your skill set. All right. And then finally, what are we doing? We also include our resume. We will be including our resume. Say, for example, after your MCA, if you're applying for the position of assistant professor after qualifying your NET, and then you are applying for assistant professor. Here, instead of this word resume, you're going to write CV. And instead of the position, your executive, it would be assistant professor at the name of the institute where you are going to apply. So keep this in your mind. The word resume is meant for the industry, for the company, for the organization. Whenever we are talking about CV, CVs will be used by the academicians. So you should send now, say for example, if whatever the information that you are sharing with the HR, if you think that the other person requires more detail, that we are going to mention, that you will be very happy to furnish that required information. So at the end, we require these complimentary close as well as the salutation. So this is the way we are going to write the cover letter. This is the sample cover letter. Is there any doubt related to cover letter? Quickly in the chat box, if you could understand, and if you have doubt, do mention these so that I can explain it once again. So is it simple? And I'm going to share this. This will be there already attached in your notes. So you need not worry. You will have a copy of it whenever you are applying for any of the job, any of the position. You will have a sample cover letter. You can easily write down your cover letter and send to the HR of the different organization. That's all in today's class. Please remember, this is the beginning of interview process. Whenever we talk about interview process, the first thing that we should keep in our mind is interview is sharing opinion between two different person. One will be from the organization, the other one would be applicant. So when we are talking about sharing opinion, sharing the information, how are we going to share information? Of course we are going to talk to the person, but before that we share our resume or CV. Resume is shared to the different industry, whereas CV will be used by the academicians. You should remember this word. CV will be used by the academician. Resumes are very short, whereas CV could run to even 10, 20, or 30 pages based on the kind of person the other person is. Say, for example, if he or she is having lot many books or publications under his kitty, he is going to or she is going to write a lot about the publications, about the articles, about the chapters, about the different research projects that he or she might have done. So keep this in your mind that whenever we are talking about interview, this is just the beginning, and we will share about our resume or job information through the sample cover letter or the cover letter. All right. So I request you to kindly mark your attendance over here so that it will be easy for me to capture your attendance. All right. So thank you very much for attending today's class. We are going to start with the same chapter tomorrow, wherein we are going to talk about preparation. What are the basic things that we have to keep in our mind whenever we are preparing for the interview process? All right. So, and in case if you have any doubts related to whatever is being told and taught today, you can definitely ask me. Take care of yourself. God bless you all. See you tomorrow.